Hello, my name is Erin Krupa and I'm an assistant professor of mathematics education at Montclair State University in New Jersey. Today I'm going to do a close reading of a recent text and relate it to the key tenets of mathematical literacy. So I'm going to read it like a mathematician would. This excerpt comes from The Fault of Our Stars by John Green, which was just released as a major motion picture. I chose this text because two of my family members said they skipped over this part of the book because it was too mathematical for them. So let's see how a mathematician might read this. Here's the text. There are infinite numbers between 0 and 1. There's 0.1 and 0.12 and 0.112 and an infinite collection of others. Of course, there's a bigger infinite set of numbers between 0 and 2 and between 0 and a million. So in that first line, there are infinite numbers between 0 and 1. A mathematician would first convince himself that this is true and create an argument for why it's not true. Key words in here include infinite and between, so it's important to understand infinite and that between 0 and 1 means all the numbers that fall between 0 and 1. We might represent this statement with a number line and shade all the numbers between 0 and 1. Remember, representations and modeling are key tenets of mathematical literacy. When we count whole numbers or even measure, we start at 0 and the next number is 1. So it can be difficult for students to believe that there are infinite amount of numbers between 0 and 1. A good mathematical argument helps promote sense making. So let's read the argument that the author lays out. There's 0.1 and 0.12 and 0.112. A mathematician, unlike how it was acted out in the movie, would read this as 1/10, 1200ths, and 112 thousandths. This assigns place value to each number, representing each number as a decimal point with a certain place value. The symbols of the written number correspond with a specific representation on the number line. It would be important for students to use mathematical communication to see if they understand this argument and if they believe they're an infinite collection of other numbers. The author lays out a pattern that can be followed, so it would be important to see if students can follow this pattern to see if they could do it forever and ever. If a mathematician was unsure, they might write out several other numbers between 0 and 1 to convince themselves that there really are an infinite amount, and this goes back to mathematical confidence. The next line states, of course, there's a bigger infinite set of numbers between 0 and 2 or between 0 and a million. Some infinities are bigger than other infinities. This is a very abstract concept that might take time to grasp. Here, mathematical reasoning and problem posing is important. Questioning this statement until it makes sense to the learner. Having dialogue with others can help strengthen the arguments and claims that are made about this statement. Is it even possible to have different infinities of varying size? If a mathematician is convinced of the first claim, that there's an infinite set of numbers between 0 and 1, then they'll tend to believe this claim, and the problem posing becomes about the size of infinity and how it can vary. The next few lines in the text are, a writer we used to like taught us that. There are days, many of them, that I resent the size of my unbounded set. I want more numbers than I'm likely to get. In God, I want more numbers for Augustus Waters than he got. But Gus, my love, I cannot tell you how thankful I am for our little infinity. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You gave me forever within the numbered days, and for that I am grateful. So that begins with there are days, many of them, when I resent the size of my unbounded set. The vocabulary word unbounded becomes important. A bounded set is one of finite size, therefore an unbounded set is one of infinite size. A mathematician might question two things. To resent the size of an infinite set implies that it is really bounded. Or, alternatively, if we believe there are infinite numbers between 0 and 1 and 0 and a million, then we all live an infinite number of. But what is the unit? What is the referent? And this person resents that their infinite set is smaller than another person or group of people. This contradicts that the referent unit of the sentence was days, because we all have a finite number of days on Earth. Then the text goes on to, I want more numbers than I likely get. The speaker is wanting more days on Earth than either her or the Gus character have been given, though she is thankful for her infinity, meaning that she did not refer to life as a set of countable days, but as an accumulation of an infinite amount of memories. Within the time span she spent with Gus, though that time span was finite, like most think of 0 to 1, she felt like it was infinite, like if you look at all the numbers or moments between 0 and 1. This has been a close reading of The Fault of Our Stars by John Green. Thank you for your time.